Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a very exciting 2 looks 1 palette using, let me get this name right, stay with me here, the Saga of Freya Chapter 2 Cat with a Golden Carriage Cat's Breath palette from Oden'S. There you go, got there. This is stunning. I've already done a first impressions which I'll have up there or down there in the description box, but it's just the most beautiful contrasting palette, and now that I've used it a second time and added the oranges into this, I'm in love with this palette. This could be I think this is my favorite Oden'S palette that I've used so far. I've used the Alva and the Alva 2 Mini Sky palette. They're the two I've used so far. This could be my favorite one out of those 3, but I still have 3 other palettes to use throughout the year. But look at it, it's so beautiful, it's so contrasting. You might look at this, find it a bit daunting, but if you break it down into just doing blue or just doing orange looks, then you're good to go. If you're like me and you add elements of the other colour to your look, you're gonna have a good time too. So I'm very excited about this palette. I am loving the shimmer formula. I think they go on better with your finger, but I have tried it with the brush and they do work quite well, but I still prefer the finger for this formula. That's not a good, nice way to say that. I'll retract that statement. I prefer applying them with my finger. That was a dirty way to say it, Carla. So yeah, I'm loving this. I think it's so pretty. I love this look I came up with. I cannot wait to do my second look because I haven't already got filmed yet. This is the first look. I'm so excited. I can't get over the shimmers in this palette. The mattes are beautiful as well. They blend beautifully, all that kind of stuff. You do have one sequin shade here, which I did use in this look, but it just blended out to be matte, so I don't really care. But yeah, I'm excited. Can you tell? I'm very excited. Before we get into the look, I will have my Instagram link down below, which is where I'll post all the pictures, up close eye pictures and full face pictures of this look. I will also have my TikTok down below where I post weird funny transitions and things like that. I'll just be a bit weird down there, so that's linked down below as well. Full list of products is also down below, and yeah, that's it. So we're gonna get into look number 1. Okay, so let's get into look number 1 using the Cat's Breath palette from Oden'S, and I'm so excited about this look. I'm delving into them orange and peachy shades, so we're going to use basically the brown as our darkest shade, 2 orange shades, and the shade Soft, I think. Might use this as well on my inner corner because I haven't used that one yet, but I'm going to use the shade Soft on the lid. I also might use a bit of Catnip, maybe a bit of the dark blue or dark kind of teal shade, but I might use a bit of that as well. I don't know, but I'm definitely using the orange shades. I've already got my skin on and pretty much my cheeks done apart from highlighter because I used creams and I wanted to powder my face as well. So I've done all that. I've done my brows and my eyeshadow primer is on. It's all listed down below, but I will go through my cheek products towards the end. Okay, so we're going to start with the shade Cat Hair, which is the brown in here. It's a sequin shade, which is a matte with sparkle in it. So this is like a gold sparkle to it. I don't want this to be a neutral look. I do want the orange to really stand out. So I'm only taking a little bit of this. It's going to just be the darkest shade and to deepen the orange that we have going on. So I'm going to take that first and we're just going to settle that mostly on the outer corner here, and I'm actually going to wing this out a little bit to kind of get a nice, as a cat eye kind of effect. So just starting on the very outer part here and then just bringing that up into the diagonal. The sparkles might just blend away. They might stick, they might blend away. I don't really mind either way, so I'm just kind of bringing that out a little bit past my crease. So we got a nice wing. Doesn't have to come to a super sharp point or anything like that. It's basically just like a big block that we put out here to give us that nice kind of wingy angle. So that way when we're blending everything else, we'll keep to that sort of shape. And that's pretty much all the brown I'm going to use unless I need to go back in and add a bit more. But I'm going to take the shade Warmth, which is the bright orange. I'm taking that on. That first brush I used was a 221S from MAC. This one is a BH Cosmetics Lavender Luxe number 8. So like it's one of those pinched fluffy brushes. Really tapping that off, and we're going to just right next to that orange, not orange, the brown. We're going to take the orange and we're going to start fluffing that in and start pulling that through the crease. So yeah, just starting to pull that through this crease here and then just blending that into the brown. So this part, not necessarily the crease, but this part should be our darkest point. And I'm not blending this orange up too high because I do have one more shade to kind of blur out the edges. So I'm mostly just focusing it in the crease and to blend out that brown. Taking my brush that I use with the brown and just start feathering over that as well. It'll just get a nice blend going. Not really adding any more brown unless I feel like I need to. I've also, you probably noticed here, left slight gap because that's where I might add the blue. I might not, but I think I'm going to add the blue just for a little bit of interest. Okay, I'm loving this shape. I I do this shape sometimes in my own kind of life, but sometimes it doesn't always go with my eye. I don't know if it's just the way I'm doing it, but I'm loving this so far. So now I'm going to take a big fluffy brush. This is the 6SS from Inglot, and we're going to take White Peach, which is the softer orange in here, or peach. And I'm going to take that, and we're going to use that now to blend out around this orange. It's not necessarily going to like lighten it or anything like that. It's just going to give me something to blend out the orange with without adding too much more orange. And I'm blending out here as well, just so we have a nice fade going and we can keep that wing going. Just adding a little bit more of that darker orange just through the main crease, so that way it doesn't just look like it's fading out to nothing. I still want there to be nice intensity there. Okay, I've tried to leave a little gap in here, but the blending kind of got out of hand, so I'm just going to see how this goes with the blue. So I'm going to take the shade Catnip, which is that lighter teal. Pretty much matches the colour of the packaging as well, which I quite like. This is going on a BH Cosmetics Lavender Luxe number 6 brush, so a skinny fluffy brush. And we're just going to build that up in here just as a little, you know, it is a orange and teal palette, so I want all elements to be in this look of the palette. The blue and the orange are not going to blend well together, just letting you know. They are contrasting colours, they are opposite on the colour wheel. Well, they're complementing colours, but they contrast each other, so when you put them over each other they neutralize, they make a kind of brown sort of neutral shade, which is not what we want. So I'm just going to kind of pop this in here and kind of blend them next to each other but not over each other, if that makes sense. I'm just taking my big 6SS with no additional product and just like, ooh, like that. Done, we're done. No more blending. The more you blend, the more mucky it's gonna get. Someone's either house alarm or car alarm is going off. If that's a really annoying sound though. Okay, I'm very happy with how this is looking. I'm not going to use the dark teal because I kind of like how this is already with that little pop of like a light blue. So we're going to stick with that. I'm going to work on my lower lash line before we do the beautiful shimmers because I'm excited about that, but I want to leave the best for last. So I'm going to go in with cat hair again, and this is a Real Techniques accent brush. So just a teeny weeny little brush and take a little bit of that. And that's going to go connecting to the wingy shape we have going on out here. We're going to put this along the lower lash line on, say, the outer third, I'd say. Okay, the outer half. We're gonna go the outer half. I like a very dark lower lash line, so that's what I'm quite used to doing. So but I want to keep this quite wingy, so I'm keeping it all to this outer portion. Then I'm gonna go in with Warmth again, and I'm taking that on a MAC 219, which is their pencil brush. And we're going to use that shade to blend out that brown and start pulling more colour into this inner part in here. So just going in and smudging. And some people like a line where the wingy part stops here. I don't. I like a blur, even though I like the angle, I like a blurred edge. So, and I like my edge to be the same as my lower lash line as well. So I'm going to take a tiny bit of that orange as well and start pulling that up to blend out the edge of that wingy shape. Like, we still want it to be obviously there, but I just like a bit of a blur. I feel like it looks more polished that way. Okay, and then I'm just going to wipe off my brush. This is just my little colour switcher thingy. I got it in Primark. Wipe off that same brush, and we're going to go in with White Peach, which is the softer peach that we used to blend out the orange up here, and we're going to blend out the orange down here. Again, I don't really want to add too much more colour. It's more just to soften out the edge of the brighter orange because it's quite intense. Okay, so as usual, we're going to take some glitter primer, and I am going to apply this with the brush because I want precision. So I'm going to take my NYX glitter primer, and I'm going to take this on a MAC 248, just a small little flat brush. This is a bit frayed, I need to get a new one of these. But just taking a little bit of this and just press that over the lid. You don't have to use a glitter primer. I just like a glitter primer. I like the way all shimmers apply over, so I always pop some on. I'm going to take whatever glitter primer is left on the brush and just press that in that little inner part in here as well. I'm not doing anything crazy like cut creasy or anything like that. If I ever do a cut crease, I will let you know as I'm doing so, obviously. Okay, and with that same brush, I've just wiped off most of the glitter primer that was on it. I'm going to take the shade Soft, which is this really beautiful speckled peach that has speckles of pink in it, and I think it's going to be so beautiful. I've already swatched this palette, obviously, so I do know what these look like, but very pretty. It's the same sort of texture as the shade Bling that I used in my first impressions, the kind of darker green shimmer. So this might be better with my finger, even with the glitter primer, because they're just a chunkier sort of texture, and I just feel like they pick up better on the finger and stick back down onto the eye better with a finger as well. Although this one is going on beautifully. Oh my god, you can still see the pink flecks in it. Oh, beautiful. I love it. I thought they would have just mixed together, but you can still see them quite clearly. It actually applies really well with the brush. I still will go in with my finger just because I like to press on that extra little bit more. And I'm just making sure that this feathers over the mattes as well. I don't want to cover up the brown or the orange or anything like that. I'm just kind of laying them overlapping. Oh, that's so pretty. You'll see it more in the up close pictures, like the speckles of pink that you can see through it. Just take a tiny dab of the brown and just making sure that that blends over this nicely so it's not harsh in any way. Just take a little bit of that same colour on the tip of that brush, and that is going to go where we applied the glitter primer on the lower lash line, just to match the top. And just again kind of feather it over the matte shades just to... Oh my god, I love this. I can honestly say I love this palette more than I ever thought I would, because when a palette is quite contrasting like this, where it's like orange and blue, they're so contrasting, it's kind of hard to put them together. But this is, yeah, I'm loving it. There's quite literally like flecks of pink in my eye. I'm obsessed with that part. And then just for the inner corner, because I haven't used the shade yet, I want to take Wool Ball, which is just magical. It just looks magical. So we're going to take a bit of that just on a small little brush. This is just a brush from eBay. Ooh, it's chunky. A little brush like that. And we're just going to pop that on the inner corner. Oh my god. I'm sorry, but Oden'S eye, what are you doing? Like, can you see that? Did you see? Was I out of focus? Look at that. Look at that. Oden'S eye, what are you doing to me? What are you doing? What is in your formula? Is it stars? Is there stardust in your formula? Is that what it is? This is stunning. This could be my favorite shade in the whole palette. That's just beautiful. Oh my god. And this kind of shimmer would go with the blues as well if you want to, although the other shade, Cat Star, is quite light. As an inner corner, I used that in my first impressions. This one would go because this kind of flecks of like purple and gold and peach. Okay, so that is the look so far. I'm going to jump off. I'm going to finish off the eyes. It's a bit mad, but I kind of love it. I'm going to finish off the eyes. My cheeks are pretty much done, but I'll finish them off and pop a lip on. Peachy orange lip, methinks, maybe. I don't know. I'm going to do that and I'll let you know what I use when I come back. Okay guys, so this is how I finish off the look. I am loving this look, this eye shape. I need to do the shape more on my eyes. I'm in love with it so far, and these shimmers are life right now. So I'm going to quickly go through everything that I used on my face. So I didn't do any winged liner, which you'd be surprised because I did do a wing shape, but because I did it in a shadow shape, if I did a wing liner it would take that away. So just keeping the shadow as the shape of the eye, that's what I wanted. So I went in with my Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On eye pencil in the shade Roach, which is just a warm kind of coppery brown. I used that just on my waterline and I tight lined a little bit with that. And then I went in with All Reliable, the MAC in Extreme Dimension mascara on my top and my bottom lashes, but I did put lashes on, and they are my also very reliable Crystal Nights lashes from Cash Beauty, and I will use the ones Aurora because these ones here are longer on the outside, so they give that real feline sort of shape to the eye, and they're so beautiful, but they don't cover up all of the shadow. And I love it. I'm getting another pack of these because these are my favorite lashes. I do have these ones, the Secret Treasure, is that what it's called? The Secret Treasure, is that what they are? The little one. I don't like these ones as much as these ones. I still like them, but I don't like them as much as the Crystal Nights. Crystal Nights is beautiful. And then on to cheeks. We've got a new addition to the family on this channel. Brand new. I got this out of a gift card that I had, and this is the Fenty Beauty, what are you called? Freestyle Cream Bronzer in the shade Amber, the coolest toned one. Yeah, Fenty and their bronzer is like, the In the Sun bronzer is still my favorite bronzer of all time, and then this is probably going to be my new favorite cream version. And oh, they do something with their bronzers. And then I busted out a very old product. I probably should get rid of this, but I used my Benefit Cha Cha Tint on my cheeks because I'm very into creams right now, so I use that on my cheeks. And also for creams, I went in with my very used and disgusting Luna cream color base from MAC. It's just a shimmery white and I love it. I love it. Look how wet my cheeks are because it's creams. And then for lips, I needed this color exactly, but I couldn't figure out how to get there with the colors that I had. I kept picking up colors that looked like it, but they were a bit pinker, a bit too orange, all that kind of stuff. But this is the exact color I wanted. So I went in with my Bowley Bear lip pencil from MAC, just a peachy nude. And then I went in with this guy, which I haven't used in a very long time. This is the Makeup Geek Iconic Lipstick in the shade Naive, which is just the exact color I wanted. I wanted a light peach, not nude, peach, not orange, but peach color, and I got there in the end. So that is the first look, and oh, I'm in love. First look using the Saga of Freya Chapter 2 Cat with the Golden Carriage Cat's Breath palette from Oden'S. It's a very long name, but it's a Cat's Breath palette basically, and surprisingly for how contrasting it is, I'm in love with this palette. I'm loving this. This is my favourite palette I've used this year so far. I've only used 3, but yeah, this is my favourite one I've used so far. So very excited for a ranking at the end of the year to see where this one lands and get more into the other Oden'S. I have 3 other Oden'S palettes to use this year, so I'm very excited. But yeah, I'm in love. So we're going to get into look number 2 using this, which I'm also very excited about. We're still going to do a bit of contrast, but we're going to do it, I don't know, we're going to find out all together. So let's get into look number 2. And we're getting into look number 2 using the Saga of Freya Cat with the Golden Carriage Cat's Breath palette from Oden'S, and we're doing a halo eye, and I want to go back into the kind of bluey tones. I might not use this shimmer. I'm undecided between these 2 shimmers which one I want to use. These 2 here, not the blue, but I do want to use the blues as my mattes in a halo eye. So I already have my skin on. I've done faux freckles today, I know, and my brows on, my eyeshadow primer on. That's all listed down below, so we're going to jump straight into it. So I'm starting off the look with Bad Temper, my dark green, and I'm taking that on a Cash Beauty K08 brush, which is the smallest blending brush in that set, and that is going to go on the outer corner. I don't want this to go too crazy or out of hand or anything like that. I just want to give this a nice bit of depth on the outer and the inner corner, so I'm just kind of stamping it out here, taking a little bit on the same brush, and we're just going to pop that on the inner part, on the inner corner, leaving a nice gap in the middle, and just build that up in here as well. Again, I'm not gonna connect the inner part of the center part of the crease, because I like it to leave that open. It makes it look more rounded and really shows a halo effect. Sticking with that colour, once we have it all placed on top, I'm going to start on my lower lash line as well. So I'm going to take the K10 brush from the Cash Beauty set and take the same shade. It's a really small little brush. This is a great little smudger brush for the lower lash line, and I'm going to halo my lower lash as well. So we're going to take a little bit of that Bad Temper shade, just connecting it on the outer corner, bringing it in about as far in as I have it here, leave a gap about as wide as what we have in the middle, and then put a little bit on the inner part. So that's how we're kind of constructing the lower lash line. So I've got it out here, leaving a gap, and we're going to pop some in here. Now the gap on the lower lash line might not be as wide as what's on top, but that's fine. Once there's a bit of a gap, and it'll show that there's a lighter shade in the middle. Okay, so now we're very round, but that's the vibe we're going for. If my earrings are very clinky, I can hear them clinking. I do apologize, but they're just clinky earrings, I can't help it. So I'm going to take Catnip, which is the light blue kind of aqua shade. I'm taking that on a, what is this? A K06 brush. I'm using all Cash Beauty eye brushes except for one, but yeah, we're taking this one. This is the big fluffy brush, and any big fluffy brush will do. We're going to start blending that around the green and through the crease. So as you start blending it through the most of the crease, like through this part here, the darker green will pull a little bit through, but just not as much as it would if I had actually applied it there. And keeping the shape rounded, you can do a nice big wee halo eye as well if you want to, but I want it to be rounded. Taking that same shade on a 219 from MAC's little pencil brush. This is the only non-Cash Beauty brush that I'm using. Just gonna blend out the edge of the green on the lower lash line. Make sure you're connecting your blend out to the blend that we have going on out here as well. That's what will give us the really nice frame around the eye. Just taking a little bit more of Bad Temper on the small fluffy brush again, and we're just going to re-intensify just to make sure that we didn't lose any of that colour, and also that the fade into the lighter blue is really nice. I'm only taking small bits at a time and just fluff it through. And again, taking the small brush with the same dark green and just re-intensify the lower lash as well. It's getting intense down on that lower lash line, but I'm okay about it. Also, there is a good bit of fallout down here, so ignore this bit. I will tidy that up in a few minutes. Okay, so I've calmed down the under eye, as in I tidied it all up and everything like that, so we're all good in that front. I'm going to take my NYX glitter primer to pop my shimmers on. I'm undecided whether I want to do both the kind of peachy shimmer and the really light speckled shimmer, so this one and then this one. I'm not sure how the peachy shimmer is going to blend into the green. Will it look a bit weird? I don't know, but I kind of want to use it because I kind of want to add it to another look because it was so pretty. But I'm going to take my glitter primer on my baby finger, and we're going to just press that on the center here. So I'm picking up the shade Soft, which is the peachy sort of orange. Again, I don't know how this is going to apply, but I'm using that on a K09 brush from Cash Beauty as well. And that's going to go on these outer parts here. So right next to the green, which is why I'm not really sure how it's going to go, but I think it might just look a bit weird in a good way. And then I'm taking a little bit more of that as well and just pop that on this inner part in here. Now, as I said in the first look, I said it in my first impressions as well, I think some of these shimmers in this apply better with your fingers, so I'm just kind of mapping this out with my brush and see how we get on, and then if I need to, I'll press a bit more on with my finger once I have it in the areas I want it to be. So I'm just like feathering it over the green, and then I can go back in with green then if I need to blend more, but it's actually blending quite well, and the pink is really standing out, and I love the fact that there's pink speckled in this. I just think it's so pretty. If you have this shade, do you agree with me? If not, you're missing out. I'm also applying a little bit of, I've just put a bit too much glitter primer over here, so I'm just popping a little bit of it down on these lower gaps as well. Okay, and then we're going to go in with Wool Ball. I'm just going to take that on my finger so I know where I'm kind of placing it. I could use a brush as well, but this is just so glassy and I love it. And that's going to go down the middle to really give us that like super bright round like highlight in the center. And this should blend easy enough into the orangey sort of shade. I'm taking that same shade and we're going to pop that down here. I'm not putting the orange down here because I think it'll just be a bit much, and I think just a little light reflectiveness down here will be beautiful. And then also on my baby finger, I just like to use my baby finger for these shimmers, taking the same shade. You can tell this is my favorite color in the palette, definitely without a doubt, and he's going to go in the inner corner just to highlight, because I still want the orange to be quite prominent on the lid. I don't want this glassy shade to take over, but it'll tie in with like the inner corner and stuff like that. Okay, so I have to repeat all those steps on the other eye with that glassy shade, the shade Wool Ball. So I'm going to jump off. I'm going to finish off the eyes, do a cheek, pick a lip, probably a nude lip. I think a nude lip. And I'll come back and I'll let you know what I used on my face. Okay guys, so this is how I finish off the look. I'm very happy with how this turned out. I love how it turns out with the lashes and the lips. So we're going to go through all that now. On the eyes, I was unsure like if I want to do a teal liner, a black liner, or I was going to do orange because I thought the peachy kind of shimmer was going to come out more orange, but it actually came out more like a champagne sort of shade. So I went in with the Ciate London Definer Liner in the shade 081. I think it's just like a champagne-y kind of shimmery liner. I got it in an advent calendar and I just used that on my waterline. It matches this like perfectly, so that's the color of it. I then used my MAC in Extreme Dimension mascara on my top and my bottom lashes. And then for my lashes, I went in with my BH Cosmetics N105s. That's the box off in there. They're like $3.50. They're really dense right in the root, and then they have like spiky bits on the end. The other option I had was the M204s, which are like this, which are way longer and more like wispy, but still have like spiky bits. But I like the density of these right in the root. That's what I was looking for. Onto cheeks then. My bronzer, I use my other Fenty bronzer, which is my Sunstalker bronzer. This is the In the Sun bronzer. It's powder bronzer. The other one I used in my first look was the cream, which is amber. I used the powder today. Also, my Colourpop freckle pen is what I used for the freckles. They're very soft. I don't like freckles like too heavy when I draw them because I feel like they look very fake, and I don't like them to look fake. I like them to look real. So I only do a few and put a load of powder on top of it to kind of, you know, as if I've got makeup on top of my freckles. That's the idea. My blush then is my MAC Mineralized blush in the shade Like Me Love Me. I love this shade with teals, greens, blues, that kind of color scheme. I love this. I think they just contrast each other really nicely and make each other stand out really well. And then for my super blinding highlight, I used my Kaleidos Space Age highlighter in the shade Ray Rider, which is the yellow one here. It's kind of like a peach champagne sort of shade. So again, it matches really well with the colours we have gone on. And then onto lip, I went in with a nude, nice nude. And I used my Huda Beauty lip contour in the shade Flirt, which is just a kind of nudie brown sort of colour. My lipstick is my very well used, I literally had to use a brush for it, the Honey Love lipstick from MAC. I'm going to scoop it out because there's lots left in that and pop it into a little container. So I just pop that on all over, and then over top of that I use my MAC lip gloss in the shade Glass Healed, which is just like, again, that champagne gold sequin sort of shade. There is another one that they do, Gold Lux or something like that they do. I can't remember the name of it. It's another like gold sparkly one, but it would give you the same effect. It's just a sparkly gloss to go on top. So yeah, that is the look. I am so happy with how this one turned out. I think it's beautiful for a halo eye. I'm loving this palette. I think this shade Wool Ball is one of the most spectacular shades in my collection right now. It's just so glassy, sparkly, like see-through, but just if you have it, swatch it and tell me you agree. If you don't have it, think about it, you might want to get it. I love how contrasting it is. I was weary about how contrasting this was. That's why I started with this palette out of all my Oden'S ones, because I thought after this they're only going to go up from there. But so far, of the three that I've used, this one, the Mini Sky palette, and the Big Alba palette, this is my favourite so far. I don't know how that's going to be now when I use my other three palettes, which if you haven't seen those, go check out my Black Friday haul. I showed which ones I got there. But it's looking good if this was the one I was the most worried about, and this is my favourite one so far now. So yeah, I'm very excited. So that is the 2 looks and the 3rd look I've done using this palette, including my first impressions. So I want to know down below in the comments, what is your favourite look? Which look do you prefer? Which one do I prefer? I don't know, actually. I really loved that first look. I thought it was so pretty. I really loved the shape I went for. I'm really liking this because of that shade right in the centre. And I love a halo eye on my eye, so it's always a winner for me. And then my first look was the greens, all green. Oh my god, I don't know which one. I'm not gonna be able to pick. So I want you guys to pick down below and give me your verdict. What is your favorite of this look, the first look in this video, and also my first impressions? Let me know what you think down below. I want your vote, and then we'll see what the winner is. If you did like this video, then give me a big thumbs up down below. It's the quickest, simplest and easiest way to give me a little bit of support, get me around to more people, and also let me know that you like the video, and I will continue to do many more. We've so much stuff coming up, so hit subscribe down below to see all of that, plus more of the Oden'S eye palettes that I did grab, and many more other palettes, and some talky kind of videos, which I'm going to film one now in a second. Another kind of chatty video of talking about makeup and palettes and stuff like that. So hit subscribe down below. And as I said in the beginning of this video and throughout the video, my Instagram is linked down below, where the pictures of this will be posted, and my TikTok will be posted as well. So you can go follow that down below. And I think that is everything. So I will see you in the next video, guys. Bye.